think when we were young, we prayed, didn't we? We kind of enjoyed it even. We enjoyed the possibility of having a companion, someone close to us, perhaps even our own secret friend whom we could trust. But then we grew up, and how it changes, doesn't it? We go from kind of the joys and simplicities of prayers as a child to the foxhole mentality. When we're under siege, we start praying. And I'm reminded of that from our responsorial psalm that says we take refuge in the Lord. When do we do that? When do we actually pray? Is it when we're under fire? Is it when we have problems of a serious nature? Is it when it seems like all is lost and we have nowhere else to turn? Or do we pray because we know that that relationship will sustain us? It's not that the world is going to change because we've prayed for it, but our own attitudes and our own strength and resolve changes. That's what makes prayer so important for us, because that's the way we have a relationship with God. We chat with one another and have relationships that way. In our own families, we share our concerns, our deep hopes and sorrows. But do we do that with God, with Jesus? Because prayer is still an important part of our relationship. It's the way in which we connect and remain bonded to Him. That's very important. Now, some people will say, well, sure, pray all you want. Is that going to make a difference? I think I've mentioned before a wonderful movie. It was called The Ruling Class, with a really great actor, Peter O'Toole. And he plays a really crazy baronet who thinks he's Jesus Christ. And in one of the scenes, the family decides that they have to fix him before he goes out in public as the new baron and landowner of the area. And so they bring this psychiatrist in. And in this wonderful scene where all you see are the two faces of the actors, the psychiatrist says to Peter O'Toole, so how long have you known you're Jesus Christ? Peter O'Toole says, all my life. Naturally. And the psychiatrist asks him, how do you know you're Jesus Christ? And he says, well, every time I pray, I find I'm praying to myself. That I found was probably one of the best moments that I could see about prayer, because a lot of times we just think we're talking to ourselves. And yet, if we really pray, we find a whole new attitude in ourselves, a certain relief. Even if we have problems, we feel more confident. We may not come up with a solution right away, but it gives us a sense that we're not alone. And that is so important for us today. Despite all our social media, we really are very isolated people, aren't we? We text, we don't call. We go online to let people know what we're doing rather than talking to them directly. We think we're being social, but we're really being very isolated. All the more reason then that prayer has to be a part of our lives. So maybe this week we experiment with it. Try a little prayer in your own words. It doesn't have to be formulas that you learned as a child. But try to connect again. And in those moments, there'll be times when you think nothing's happening. I don't hear Him. And other times when you feel so surrounded by the love of God, and you feel that support and love, and then you understand our responsorial psalm even better. Throughout the ages, the Lord has truly been our refuge.